I used to be a girl, but today I woke up in the body of an insect. It's like waking up as a robot, but worse. My family doesn't speak to me anymore. Life is absurd, but at least my boyfriend says he still likes me. Thank you. Anna Karenina, Part 3, Chapter 5. And I'm so sorry it's been 3 weeks since I've done an Anna Karenina thing. Life has genuinely been freaking hectic. Truly. And I am trying a little, like, I followed a tutorial on, like, a 70s makeup look. I think I'm gonna let the whiteoids keep this one. I don't think it was really made for people like me, but anyway. After breakfast, Levin got placed between, and I'm sick. I don't know if I mentioned that. I don't know. Listen, guys, the brain fog goes crazy right now. Like, I can't do anything. I'm so, like, this is This is terrible. Crazy hamburger. Anyway, Hambao. They sell $5 hamburgers at this one place in Cambridge on weekdays, 9:30 to 11:30 p.m. After breakfast, Levin got placed between a humorous old man who invited him to be his neighbor and a young peasant who had only got married last autumn and was now out for his first summer's mowing. The old man went along holding himself erect, moving with regular long steps, turning out his toes, and with a precise and even motion that seemed to cost him no more effort than swing his arms while walking. He laid the grass in a level high ridge, as if in play, or as if the sharp scythe of its own accord whizzed through the juicy grass. Young Mishka went behind Levin. His pleasant young face, with a wisp of grass tied round the forehead over his hair, worked all over with the effort, but whenever anyone glanced at him, he smiled. Evidently, he would have died rather than confess that the work was trying. Between these two, and it's a metaphor for life, between these two went Levin. Now, in the hottest part of the day, the work did not seem so hard to him. The perspiration in which he was bathed was cooling, and the sun which burnt his back, his head and his arm, bare to the elbow, added to his strength and perseverance in his task. And those unconscious intervals when it became possible not to think of what he was doing recurred more and more often. The scythe seemed to mow of itself. Those were happy moments, yet more joyous were the moments when, reaching the river at the lower ends of the swaths, the old man would wipe his scythe with the wet grass, rinse his blade in the clear water, and dipping his wet stone box in the stream, would offer it to Levin. "A little bit of my chaffs. It's good," said he, with a wink. And really, Levin thought that he had never tasted any nicer drink than this lukewarm water with green stuff floating in it, and a flavor of the rusty tin box. And then came the ecstasy of a slow walk, one hand resting on the scythe, when there was leisure to wipe away the streams of perspiration, to breathe deep, to watch the line of mowers, and to see what was going on around in the forest and field. The longer Levin went on mowing, the oftener, I'm serious, this is what it said in the book. Let me show the audience. The oftener he experienced those moments of oblivion when his arms no longer seemed to swing the scythe, but the scythe itself, his whole body, so conscious and full of life, and as if by magic, regularly and definitively, without a thought being given to it, the work accomplished itself of its own accord. These were blessed moments. It was trying only when the thought became necessary in order to mow around a molehill or a space when the hard sorrel stalks had not been weeded out. The old man accomplished this with ease. When he came to a molehill, he would change his action, and with a short jerk to the point and then a heel of his scythe, he would mow all round the molehill. And while doing this, he noted everything he came to. Now he plucked a sorrel stalk and ate it, offered it to Levin. Now he threw aside a branch with the point of his scythe, or examined a quail's nest from which the hen bird had flown up, almost under the scythe, or he caught a beetle, lifting it. Beetle reference. Ooh, I need your love, babe. I guess you know it's true. Hold me, love me, hold me, love me. I ain't got nothing but love, babe. 8 days a week. 8 days a week, I love you. Are the lyrics in here? Wait. Ooh, they are. Song break. Dang! Wait, this is on the cover of the 1967 version, too. Do they not have the lyrics? Yeah, they do. Okay. Let's see. Aww. Why they got Ringo doing all that? Why they got Ringo on the floor? Look at how cute they are. Close your eyes and I'll kiss you. Tomorrow I'll miss you. Remember, I'll always be true. And then while I'm away, I'll write home every day and I'll send all my loving to you. I'll pretend that I'm kissing the lips I am missing and hope that my dreams will come true. And then while I'm away, I'll write home every day and I'll send all my loving to you. All my loving I will send to you. All my loving, darling, I'll be true. Close your eyes and I'll kiss you. Tomorrow I'll miss you. Remember, I'll always be true. And then while I'm away, I'll write home every day and I'll send all my loving to you. All my loving I will send to you. All my loving, darling, I'll be true. All my loving, all my loving, all my loving I will send to you. We did a little key change by accident. Sheesh, bro. Call me polyphonic. Oh, please. They are so handsome. They're so handsome. Like, it's not called the Oxford study. It's called the Liverpool study. It should not be called the Oxford study. It should be called the Liverpool study because I'm like, oh, but speaking of which, guys, I need to show you. I got a CD player. I got a CD player. It was gifted to me. It was promised to me 2,000 years ago, but it was a gift. I'm holding it upside down, but I got a CD player, and my heart is warmed, and I'm really happy that I got this. Like, oh, I'm such a little dog, and I love positive reinforcement. Lifting it with a scythe point, as if with a fork, and after showing it to Levin, threw it away. Levin and the young fellow on the other side of him found such change of action difficult. Both of them, having got into one strained kind of movement, were in the grip of feverish labor, and had not the power to change the motion of their bodies, and at the same time to observe what lay before them. Levin did not notice how time passed. Had he been asked how long he had been mowing, he would have answered, 1/2 an hour, although it was nearly noon. As they were about to begin another swath, the old man drew Levin's attention to the little boys and girls approaching from all sides along the road, and through the long grass, hardly visible above it, carrying jugs of kvass, stoppered with rags, and bundles of bread which strained their little arms. Oh, I can't say that word, but look at the little short people crawling along, he said, pointing to the children and glancing at the sun from under his lifted hand. They completed 2 more swaths, and then the old man stopped. "Come, mastards, dinner time," said he with decision. All the mowers on the reaching river went across the swaths to where their coats lay, and where the children who had brought their dinners sat waiting for them. The men who had driven from a distance gathered in the shadow of their carts. Those who lived near sheltered under the willow growth on which they hung grass. Levin sat down beside them. He did not want to go away. All the peasants' restraint in the presence of the master had vanished. The men began preparing for dinner. Some had a wash. The young lads bathed in the river. Others arranged places for their after-dinner rest, unfastened their bags of bread, and unstoppered their jugs of kvass. I'm not designed to say these words, guys. I'm designed to go, like, I was meant to sing that. I wasn't meant to say kvass. Kvass, bro. Please, give me a break. The old man broke some rye bread into a bowl, mashed it with a spoon handle, poured it over some water from his tin poured over it some water from his tin, broke more bread into it, and salted it. This is a biblical reference. And then turning to the east, said grace. Come, master, have some of my dinner, said he, kneeling in front of his bowl. The bread and water was so nice that Levin gave up all intention of going home to lunch. He shared the old man's meal and got into conversation with him about his domestic affairs, taking a lively interest in them and telling him about his own, giving him all the particulars which would interest the old peasant. When the old man got up, and having said grace, lay down beneath the willows with an armful of grass under his head, Levin did the same, regardless of the flies, importunate and persistent in the sunshine, and of the crawling insects that tickled his perspiring face and body. He at once fell asleep, waking only when the sun touched the opposite side of the willows and reached him. The old man had already begun long awake and sat setting the scythes for the young men. Levin looked around. I'm so sick, guys. Oh. Levin looked round and hardly recognized the place. Everything was so altered. A wide expanse of the meadow was already mown, and with its swaths of grass already giving off perfume, shone with a peculiar fresh brilliance in the oblique rays of the descending sun. The bushes by the river, where the grass had been cut, and the river itself with its curves, previously invisible, were now glittering like steel, and the people getting up and moving about, the steep wall of yet uncut grass, and the hawks too, soaring over the bare meadow, struck him as something quite new. When he was fully awake, Levin began to calculate how much had been done and how much could still be done that day. An extraordinary amount had been done by the 42 men. The larger meadow, which in the days of serfdom had taken 30 men 2 days to mow, was all finished except some short patches at the corners. But Levin wanted to get as much possible done that day, and it was vexatious to see the sun already declining. He was not feeling at all tired and was only longing to work again and to accomplish as much as he could. What do you think? Could we manage to get Mashkin Heights mown today? He asked the old man. Well, mashallah, we might. The sun is not very high, though. Perhaps if the lads could have a little vodka. At half-time, when they sat down again and those who smoked were lighting their pipes, the old man informed the young fellows that if they mowed the Mashkin Heights, there would be vodka. What? Not mow that? Come along, Titus. We'll get it clear in no time. You can eat your fill at night. Let's begin, shouted different voices, and the mowers took their places, finishing their bread as they went. Now then, lads, keep going, said Titus, starting off ahead almost as a trot. Go on, said the old man, hurrying after him and easily catching him up. Take care, I'll mow you down. And the young and old vied with each other at mowing. But in spite of their haste, they did not spoil the grass, and the swaths fell just as evenly and exactly as before. The small patch that was left in the last corner was mown in 5 minutes, and whilst the last mowers were finishing their swaths, those in front, carrying their coats over their shoulders, were already crossing the road towards Mashkin Heights. The sun was already setting towards the trees when, their tin boxes rattling, they entered the wooded ravine of the heights. The grass that in the middle of the ravine reached to their waists was delicate, soft, and broad-bladed, speckled here and there with cow wheat. After a short consultation as to whether they should mow the ravine across or lengthwise, Procor, a gigantic dark man and a famous mower, took the lead. He went in front, mowed a swath, turned around, and restarted. Following him, all the others took their places, going downhill along the creek and back up to the very skirts of the wood. The sun had set behind the wood and now shone only of the mowers at the top of the hill, while in the valley, where the mists were rising, they were in a cool, dewy shade. The work proceeded briskly. The scented grass, cut down with a sound that showed how juicy it was, fell in high ridges. On the short swaths, the mowers crowded together, their tin boxes clattering, their scythes ringing wherever they touched, the whetstones whistling upon the blades, and their merry voices resounding as they urged each other on. Levin was again mowing between the old man and the lad. The old man, who had put on his sheepskin jacket, was still as jolly, witty, and easy in his movements as before. In the wood their scythes continually cut down wood mushrooms grown plump amid the juicy grass. The old man stooped each time he came upon one, picked it up, and put it inside his jacket, saying, Another treat for my old woman. It was easy to cut the wet, soft grass, but on the other hand, it was very difficult to go up and down the steep slopes of the ravine. This, however, did not trouble the old man. Swinging his scythe just as usual, taking short steps, with feet shod in large bark-plated shoes. He slowly climbed the slopes, and though his whole body and his loosely hanging trousers shook, he did not miss a single mushroom or a curious grass, and continued joking with the other peasants and with Levin. Levin followed and often thought that he would certainly fall when climbing a mound with his scythe in his hand, a mound so steep that it would have been hard to climb even unencumbered. Still he managed to climb it, and to do all that had to be done, and he felt as if some external force were urging him on. It's the love for his freshly turned 18-year-old love interest, Kitty, despite this guy being like 40 or whatever. Guys, my 35-year-old coworker confessed his romantic feelings to me over text, and I just deadass responded, "Oh, aren't you 13 years older than me?" That's deadass how I responded. I was like, "Oh, that's surprising. Aren't you 13 years older than me? What? What's going on here? I think this is not very appropriate." So yeah, but I don't know. Retweet if you can relate, honestly.